Hi guys, so just picking up where we left off in the last Unity tutorial. I got cut off because this software for some reason only let me record for 5 minutes consecutively. But basically we were just scaling up and down the sprite. And this right here, this is an interesting tool. What this does, it's sort of like a transform tool. You could actually, if we just zoom in a little bit here, it gives you these little corners, and what you could just do, you could drag these out. This is another way to scale, but also it's a combination of like a move tool and a scale tool. And here's your little you have also in here, you have that's your little pivot of rotation. And I believe there's a way to rotate. Yeah, see if you get your cursor just right, you can rotate it. So also, what I want to go into now is just quickly how to create a prefab. This is important for a lot of game development courses. A prefab, the difference between a prefab and a sprite can be controlled in the code, but really when you're instantiating anything from the code, you really want it to be a prefab. It just makes your life a whole lot easier, and it gives you a lot of access and just to be able to take something from your assets, your prefab, and just instantiate it and control it with the code. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go to prefab. Sorry, we have Sprite here. We already have our Sprite, so what I'll do is I'll just right click here, and I'll go create, and now prefab, and now new prefab, we'll name this bullet. So now we have a bullet prefab, and let's just pretend that this right here is our bullet. We're going to take this Sprite, drag it onto the bullet texture, the bullet prefab, sorry, and now we could go up here, and this name's inconsequential, it's just how it's going to be referred to in the scene. So just to not confuse you guys, I'm just going to call it bullet with a capital B, but the lowercase b right here, this is how you're actually going to refer to it in the code. So that's actually what your program's going to understand. So now, if I was to give you an example of how this would work, what I want to do is I want to go, I'll create new, I'll go another 2D sprite, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign that a little texture here. So I've assigned this a white texture now, and the next step that I'm going to do, I just want to add a component, and I want to go to new script, and now I'm actually going to, I'll just go instantiate, and this name's inconsequential, it's just to tell yourself, you know, what it's about. Double click to open it up in MonoDevelop, and MonoDevelop is something used in conjunction with Unity. So it's a place where you could write your code, a programming environment, and it really works well. You could, you know, just double click to open it right up, save your changes in MonoDevelop, jump back into Unity, and it automatically updates those changes. And also the difference between scenes and projects. This right now in Unity we have one scene, so if I went to File, Save Scene As, and now let's say we save this as Tutorial 1. We'll say Tutorial 2 since it's the second video. Now you see I have a scene right here, Tutorial 2. But when you're building more complex applications and games, you're going to want to have multiple scenes here, each that does its own thing. But there's a very easy way to load one scene into another. So it's kind of like when you're programming, you kind of want to make each object or each function just responsible for one thing, and each object is just that specific object. You just want to break stuff up and modularize it in the same way. So here in void update, well actually I'll just open up another project that I did just to show you guys. It'll be a lot easier just to show you. Open project. So this is just a little project that I'm working on off to the side right now, and I just really want to show you one of the pieces of code that I wrote for it. Here we go. And I'll go special attack. So basically, for special attack right here, special attack right here. Okay, see, so you have all these tabs up here that say which scripts they're referring to, and we're actually running out of time, but I just want to get this point across, that you would set a variable. You would say if input.getKey, keycode whatever button you want them to press, your player that is, you'd set a variable equals GameObject, instantiate the name of the prefab, transform.position, and quaternion.euler new vector 3000. That's just the rotation, so that just